What's on your mind today, Chris Stanley?
All right, on Friday we talked about the Duke girl that had that PowerPoint presentation. She fucked a bunch of guys, made a PowerPoint punctuation, and went viral.
Yeah, and they actually said she was like the girl in Mallrats.
Yeah, Trish the Dish. And now people have seen this thing come out. It's gone viral or whatever. And now people from the William Morris Agency and HarperCollins are trying to give her a movie and book deal because they think she's a female Tucker Max.
See, there's the beauty of it.
It's
you do something that is like, oh, this blew up in my face, and it's exactly what Hollywood is looking for. They're not looking for anything but people that are getting attention.
Yeah.
So this fucking kid, the gay kid who jumped off the bridge
in Rutgers, yeah.
If he would have lived, he'd have a fucking movie deal right now.
Yeah.
And now you find out he's the most beloved kid at Rutgers.
Great violinist or whatever.
Yeah, oh my God. If he only knew how we all felt about him. And we're wearing black to the game and we're all signing cards and walking around in candles. This is what fucking kills you about this kid. Why did he think after this tape of him having sex went out that it was going to be so bad? Kim Kardashian rolled her tape into a goddamn Reality Millions. Maybe that would have been you, Rutgers boy. Wait, people don't realize on the suicide angle, you can't get another choice.
Yeah.
It's like everything else you can go like, oh, I'm going to get a new boyfriend. Well, that one you could always break up with later. You know, I'm going to get another car. You can sell that. The suicide is the end of the road. A couple years later, you can go like, you can't go, you know what, I hate death. I really do think I want to go back.
Switch this around.
And get my GED. There was a thing on suicide over the weekend, and it was on that fucking Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
And this is how many people have jumped off that bridge. Once every 3 weeks, for 70 years, somebody has went fucking face first off of that bridge.
From all over the world.
Where they will go there just to be part of that bridge. George Washington, on the other hand, where this kid went off, not that much. But I was reading this, too, that everybody who jumps off a bridge wishes to be stopped.
Yeah.
It's not the type of suicide that people wish to carry out.
It's just, well, I guess when they're in the midway down there, they realize, what the hell did I do?
No, but not only that, on the way up there, they're thinking, I'm going to be stopped on the way up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because you're going to a place, you know.
Someone will pull over or whatever.
It's the most public one there is.
But I mean, of any bridge. If you go to the George Washington, the Verrazano, doesn't matter. When you do the I'm going to jump off a bridge thing, you're hoping someone sees you and pulls you back. Where if you go into the garage with a shotgun, that's between you and the shotgun. Adam in Connecticut, you're on Run Fest.
One thing I want to talk about that one documentary, The Bridge, is so awesome. I really loved it, and it was. I
still haven't seen it. I was going off a news thing I saw on CBS, but you go ahead and bring up yours.
Well, no, the one thing I want to talk about was the Rutgers kid. Is that one thing that annoys the shit out of me is that this kid obviously was mentally ill. Because to kill yourself over one thing like that, I think is bullshit. When I was in high school, right, there was a rumor about me, whatever. I was known as One Nut Bramson for the rest of my 4 years of high school. I didn't fucking kill myself, all right? You deal with it, and it goes over. You know what I mean? It's. I don't understand why these kids think that it's this one defining moment in their life is so horrible that they have to end their life. And it's selfish because they don't give a shit. What tells me they don't give a shit about anybody else.
Well, yeah, that is very true of suicide, is that it's the most egotistical thing that you could do. You put yourself above everyone else and act like my happiness is more important than friends, family, work, how I contribute. It really comes down to where I am happy or not. And the fucking ego is insane with that. It's the most selfish act that you could pull off. But you did come up with another point that somehow now we've got it in the back of our head that high school, college, and even life should somehow be great and happy. This is such a modern fucking thought. Like, cavemen didn't think to themselves, hey, am I fulfilled? People that lived in the Dark Ages, throughout the Civil War, any of the great world wars, their whole point was just to survive, just to live and make it to another day to see if that next day could be better. It's not that whole thing of people saw my ass on the fucking internet, so that's the end of life for me. How many people would have seen this fucking tape? 30? Now everyone knows this fucking kid did this.
Yeah, among his group of friends or whatever, it was like the roommate set it up, and yeah, it's about 30, 40 people on the campus. See, I mean, the kid had a Twitter account, but how many people could be possibly following him? And of those people following him, how many even want to watch gay sex?
I mean, what is most people's Twitter account? 300, 400? Yeah. I mean, you'd probably have to be pretty fucking popular to know 1,000 people who give a shit what you had to Twitter. Here is Kevin. Kevin in Houston. You're on Run Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I think one thing that has led to a lot of these kids killing themselves is that we've become just such a pussified world where nobody keeps scores. You know, we don't want anybody to come in, last place, so we got to give out ninth place ribbons to fucking teams. And then when kids get into college and they actually have to fend for themselves, and they can't because mommy and daddy's not there to take care of them, and they start fucking jumping off of bridges and eating bullets.
But, here's the thing, too, when we get back to this. And I thought Louis C.K. really did this really brilliant thing this year when he was at the PTA meeting, and they were bringing up everything about school. And he said, but school sucks, right? That's it. I mean, it's going to suck. No matter how good you make it, it's going to suck. The same could be said of work.
Yeah.
Work sucks. Up until about 20 years ago, when we got into this, everyone has a career.
Yeah.
When your parents went and fucking went to work, they went to work to get food and not to feel better about themselves. They expected work to suck. People go into mines and they're like, this blows, but if I don't get it, I'm going to get food. There won't be any food for me. But, go back into the depression thing is why should you feel fucking great? What was this fucking promise that life was going to be good? I mean, look at all life on the planet Earth. You think birds feel good? They're outside when it's fucking raining. You think a fucking deer feels good? It has Lyme's disease constantly, wherever it goes. You think a fucking rat feels good scurrying around? You think a trout feels good? It's never dried off in its life. It's constantly got fucking, just think of all the fish in the ocean and how much their eyes are burning just from fucking constantly having their eyes open as they're swimming around the ocean. Life wasn't necessarily to feel so fucking great. You grab moments here and there. But for some reason, we feel like we could say, I feel bad, and the world should stop for you.
Well, every TV, movie, and commercial makes it seem like everything's going to work out and you're going to get a fucking great job.
And they're fake. It's just.
But people believe them because it's constantly being shoved in their face.
So what? It's like if you went walking through a carnival midway, would you eventually start reading you could believe in that you could win the big dog, that suddenly the guy does guess your weight and you're going to wake up? It's the fucking country is a fucking carnival. 866-RUN-0-FEZ. 866-RUN-0-FEZ. Herb, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie B., how you doing?
Good.
There's a high school down here in San Antonio that actually a couple of kids have a suicide pact going on. There's probably about 4 or 5 kids that have already committed suicide. They're part of a group called the Wolf Pack. They actually walk around and wear tails and such. One of the kids actually hung themselves across the street from the school. And one of the other kids took a picture of them and sent a text message for all these other kids. And it's all about attention.
But here's the thing. It's nothing new in the world that fucking kids are animals and fucking idiots. They've always been stupid. They've been stupid since the fucking dawn of the world. Charlie, New Jersey, you're on Run of Fez.
Ronnie, maybe this kid killed himself because he couldn't handle his family's reaction. Like, some other famous radio personality.
But really, that goes back to this. Who gives a fuck what your parents think? Why should they be happy with you? Why is their approval so fucking important to you?
Yeah, I guess that would have been the factor that did it, because
they know now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
now everybody fucking knows, kid. It's not like you made it any better, and you're not gonna fucking play the violin anymore, and you haven't made the world any better. You haven't done anything such a fucking big deal.
Well, the approval comes in these glorious memorials that get out there, too. I'm sure there's some other kid at school saying, oh, they stopped a football game for someone jumping off a bridge.
And can you enjoy it?
No.
Can you enjoy the memorial? So it doesn't fucking work for you. It's no fucking good to you. There's nothing you can get out of it. And it's not... The memorial is as fake as the fucking commercial. The kids like to go to the memorial, so they're seen as other fucking people being at a memorial. They're all on CNN now. They're the ones that are getting over. They're the ones that are getting the fame out of it. It happens every fucking time. Here is Bill in Ontario. You're on Run Fez.
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. You made a comment earlier there. You were talking about the fish and all the animals and such. But I don't think I've ever heard of any fish or any animals doing things that are complicated, like escaping the Earth's atmosphere and being intelligent creatures. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not saying that we haven't accomplished a lot of good stuff as a species. I'm saying at the same time, to think that you're going to go through life happy is almost a ridiculous fucking prospect. Why would you have all these fucking emotions unless you were supposed to feel them? You know, you're going to have bad fucking days. You're going to have fucking things that fucking bummed you out.
That's crazy, because I was reading a few months ago about people having quarter-life crisis now at 25. Because
hold on, what's this?
A quarter-life crisis. For people in their early 20s, just out of college, who's still living with their parents.
Well,
they're like depressed and like totally like their whole worldview is destroyed because they're not having super successful immediately out of college.
Again, the problem with that is more and more people went to college. It stopped becoming this fucking interesting and different kind of thing. So what? So what? You don't have a fucking great job.
Well, they expected one because they went to college. It's crazy. It's such a
I know.
psychotic myth.
No better than that, but here's the thing. Spend your after-college years hanging out with some friends.
Fuck yeah.
Enjoying yourself. Why do you just constantly have to... What are you measuring yourself... What's such a big deal about having a great job anyway? You look like a fucking... Most great jobs, you also look like an idiot. It's just a fucking gig. Just something to do. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Here's John in Jersey. You're on Ron Fez.
Hey, Ronnie. I just wanted to comment on. You brought up like a really interesting point that that's like how people strive to be happy with their lives and their jobs is like kind of a modern thing. And back in the day, no one gave a fuck. I mean, it was all for the greater good. Like, you look at like World War II generation. They didn't fucking complain and cry about their lives or what was going on. You know, it's America. We're gonna fight. You know, whatever. You know, and it's just strange now. I don't know necessarily that's
Well, now we're the Tea Party. Now we're the Tea Party, and I want mines. We're the Tea Party. I want mines, y'all.
Is it really a bad thing though to kind of strive to look for more in your life? I don't know. You know, like
no, you can, but you can't expect your life to be great 24 hours a day. If this was fucking true, right? I mean, how many times do you see like or read a story where a rock star will tell you it's a pain in the ass?
Yeah.
A quarterback will tell you it's a pain in the ass. A movie star is a pain in the ass. Life is basically a pain in the ass. That's it. You sit around and talk to fucking people that you think, oh, their life would be great, and then they'll just tell you, here's all the shit that doesn't work. But you're too superficial to fucking see past that. All you see is, their house is bigger than mine, so I'm sad. You don't realize they got more fucking responsibilities than you, too. The whole fucking thing. It's a rough fucking road. Life is hard.
No.
It's fucking hard. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. John, New York, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Ronnie. Watching TV, though, you see all these commercials for, like, antidepressants. Like, it's really out of the, like, they make you think it's not normal to be depressed from time to time. You know what I mean? Like, you watch TV and you're like, wow, something must be wrong with me.
I swear to God, this isn't fucking true. And I'm sure there are extreme cases where people need to be on medication, but not enough to run on fucking TV. Not enough that we should sit around and watch television and read about this with all these hideous side effects. But I think I brought this up on the air. A friend of mine, his dad died, and they put him on Zoloft for one of the drugs to deal with his depression. I'm like, wait, your fucking dad died. If you're not depressed when your dad dies, you wouldn't be a human being.
You shouldn't exist.
You're supposed to be depressed. You're supposed to fucking drag around all day, and when you get home at night, you're taking a shower, no one's around, you're supposed to start crying like a fucking kid. You know? These are the times to fucking feel bad. Chris, MPA, you're on Fez.
Maybe with all the anti-bullying rules they have in schools to protect the precious kids, by the time they get to college, when people actually treat other humans like shit, those pussies can't handle it.
Well, there is a lot of that. I mean, I guess we do pussify our own kids because you don't want to see your kids suffer. But sooner or later, you know, you fall back into that thing of, yeah, your bosses are assholes. Your bosses are fucking assholes, and that's the way the world works. Your bosses are pricks. That's why they're higher above in this shitty corporate system than you. I'm going to tell you something right now, and maybe this is the only reality show that is real, and that's that fucking Apprentice show. That Apprentice show shows you how awful the corporate world is. You have two teams up against each other. Somebody is going to get fired and take the blame over the stupidest shit ever. He didn't get the copy paper, Mr. Trump. Get him.
He wasn't the team leader.
Immediately as the fucking show starts, we're years away from the boardroom, right? The boardroom isn't going to happen. Yeah. They start to make up reasons of why their coworkers should be fucking fired so that they could go back and squeal to Donald fucking Trump. So they could all sit in front of him and go, Mr. Trump, it's not me. It's this fucking guy who yesterday I said was my friend. Today I want him fired. And fucking Trump sits in front of them and makes these people take out knives and stick it into each other all over this shitty fucking show of his. Now, here's the beauty of it. The whole point is, you watch this show now, and they've taken it because of the bad economy. I used to be a lawyer. Now I'm working security at a fucking liquor store. I'm going to do everything I can do to get ahead. I'm going to fucking do anything I can to other people. But there's fucking Donald Trump, who's sitting there, and who's on each side of him? His kids. You're not going to get up there in the Donald Trump table. He's keeping it for his own fucking people. You're fucked out of the whole system, and what do? There's fucking 12 of you sitting there. Does anyone ever think, fuck this, let's the 12 of us bum rush Trump, beat the shit out of him, and take his cash and his watch? Fuck no. You sit there and you pick each other off like fucking lemmings. The best fucking show ever would be if those people went into the boardroom with torches and pitchforks and just fucking started jabbing his kid in front of him. Fuck you! It's over! They're just running through that shitty apartment of his, pulling fucking Iranian statues of himself down. What a piece of shit fucking show. And look how we all fucking buy into it. That show's the most truthful thing that ever fucking happened. Fezzi and I took some shit not too long ago. And the guy right above us, who's fucking totally, I thought that was great. immediately starts going to the producers behind our backs to make sure that when I go into this meeting, you guys, you know I told you this. Like, you want to sit here and scrape around for this fucking gig? I'm not going to fucking count down for this. Fuck that. Always so quick to turn on each other. 866-RUN-0-FEZ, 866-RUN-0-FEZ. Steve in Connecticut, you're on Fez.
Hey, Ron. Hey, this is exactly why I have so much respect for my grandparents and for the older people. Is that, life is fucking difficult. And these people did it in the 40s and the 30s when shit wasn't handed to you and you got to work your balls off for $50. I mean, it's like, to be able to do it for 80 years, man, I give them all the credit in the world.
Well, I will give them, they had a this is your thing, that they had no idea at all that they were supposed to be happy. That they and that's how they came up with it, with religion, where they thought, this world is so fucking hard and it's so nasty. Kids die and you get polio and you get diseases and, you get a few hours off on Sunday and then it's back into the fucking mills. That they said to themselves, well, then when you die, it's just going to be perfect. When they had to have that thing. But for some reason, they've sold this bullshit to us so we buy more stuff, is that this world is heaven. For some reason, we got it into our heads that, well, in this world, it should be fucking perfect. Just think how many times, you'll read some article about, some fucking star, Jennifer Aniston or one of those people that are always in magazines. And you'll just go on for years and they'll be like, oh, this is my home and I'm so happy and I keep this schedule. I have the greatest marriage and I'm able to balance career and children. That's why I need my time in the south of France. And look, my bathtub is bigger than your house. And you're like, God, her life is great. And then a couple years later, she'll be like, she'll put out a book, how she almost killed herself, how she used to fucking puke after eating. And I'm not just saying Jennifer Aniston, but all celebrities do this. And it'll tell you that they were unhappy the whole time. And then we buy that fucking gimmick from them. It's all just a work. It's a fucking work. Here's Dan in Connecticut. You're on Fez. Dan.
Hey, Ryan?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I was just going to say, because this comes up with my wife and I a lot, I think that the expectation of being happy adds a lot to the depression. I have teenagers, and so you work all day, and then you got to do what they have to do. So at the end of the day, you're just tired, And she'll say to me all the time, didn't you expect more? And I'll say, well, no, it's not our time. We had it before the kids. When the kids are grown, when we retire. But I guess I never really expected this to be a great time. You do your work, you do your job, fulfill your obligations, and your time comes later. But that drives her crazy. She thinks I'm out of my mind.
She's going to leave you one day, dude. She's just going to be gone. But also, here's the thing. Even if you had everything you ever wanted, you wouldn't be happy all the time. It's impossible to stay happy all the time. And why should you? You have all these emotions to use. You have them all. There's nothing horrible about being sad. It's an interesting place to be. Anger is an interesting place to be. Curiosity is an interesting place to be. Contentment is an interesting place to be. You need to explore all of them and not just sit around and go, but I'm not so happy right now, or someone else is happier. And of course, we're always asking it outside of ourselves. And the fucking fact is, if you can't be happy sitting next to a fucking stream, maybe throwing a line in there for a fish or not catching a fish, watching a sunset, sitting on your porch, if none of those things make you happy, you're not going to be fucking happy at the Grand Canyon or in Tahiti or anywhere else. It just ain't going to happen for you. It ain't on the outside, dude. How many times have we talked about this with Fez? And every day he comes in here, what's up? I feel anxious. you go back and listen to these unmasked things, just about every fucking performer is scared shitless, but the difference is they go out there, they get on. They do it. People don't always feel good before they do their work. 866 Run Zero Fez. Tommy in Iowa, you're on Fez.
Yeah, I just want to talk you right on about all this stuff. You know, it's just, it's all designed, our culture's all designed. Oh, hold on a second. Jay Cutler just got sacked again. It's all about...
Seriously, that was a fucking great line. That is fucking so true.
It's just some shit that they're selling us, man, to make you buy more and more and more shit. Culture's all designed to sell you more and make you work and buy more. The rich get richer and the rest of it just work our ass off.
Yeah, I mean, it is true that somehow we think that it's somehow outside of us. I mean, they will sell you this thing that a watch will make you happy. You know, that a more expensive watch will make you happy. And maybe the day that you get it, because you're like, hey, did you see my new watch? But within no time at all, you're not fucking happy from that watch. You don't give a shit. How many of these people that you see they're unhappy in their job, right? Picture them in another job. And do you think they'll be any happier? You can normally see they're not going to be happy. I've had some of my best fucking jobs I've hated because me and all the guys I work with hated it, would fuck with the bosses and not wait until we got off at 5 o'clock to go out and have fun. You can fucking pull together doing this shit. Just like when your grandparents tried to tell you, we were poor, but we didn't know it. You ever hear that from your parents, your grandparents? Oh, yeah. It's fucking true. It's only when you start to comparing yourself with other stuff. What, you're not going to get happy till you get a private jet, and then you're going to be fucking totally happy?